Shalom, family. Shalom to everybody in the chat. Good to see you. Wow. I was just looking over the death toll in Washington state and Canada because, Canada went into triple digits too, parts of Canada. Ooh, man, and I can see it getting worse. But everybody, Bill Cosby is free. He is free. He never should have been in there anyway, the way I see it, because this is all hearsay. He got put in jail for hearsay. But you see how easy it is for just the word of predominantly white women to get a black man put behind bars and also even killed. We know how many of these women lied to get black men lynched, and many have lost their lives just on the word of a devil. Okay. And we know this will continue to happen. But, it just goes to show you, even a celebrity is not excluded from this sort of thing. He never should have been. I agree with you. Black Manta 777. You're right. He never should have been locked up in the first place. But this was the hearsay of women from 40 and 50 years ago. Are you kidding me? Wow. But I'm glad he's finally out and free. The case was really frivolous, and it never should have went to any court. It shouldn't anything that had to be settled about this case should have been done outside of court, not in the court. Yeah, I remember Gloria Allred. She was dancing. She got up during an interview and started dancing when Bill Cosby got put in jail. And that says a lot. Thank you, Dee, for the super chat. Yes, get them. Judge Joe Brown talked about how they pay women to lie. Yeah, I believe that. In fact, a lot of that came out in the case of Mumia. If you go and research his case, they paid a lot of people to get on the stand and testify against him. That's why it's always been this drive to free him. But yes, they will go that far to go after a black man. And the fact that he's a well-known actor and all that, it's irrelevant. They don't care. And even when I looked at some of the articles, this is what many of the publications are saying. They'll put disgraced comedian Bill Cosby. And I said, no, I'm not reading that. And I notice a lot of them are harping on that. And, they just can't take an L. If they got to take an L, they got a problem with it. But this was not a good case from the beginning for them to go after. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you and we'll get started. Okay. Okay, y'all, please give me a 1 if you can see the screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see the screen. Shalom to everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right. One thing I like about Bill Cosby from the beginning, he never changed his position. He stuck with the fact that he was not guilty of what he was being accused of. And look, nobody should have to go to jail for this reason, especially, that's just like somebody coming in your life that you didn't get along with, and then that person crops up 50 years later making accusations claiming you committed all kinds of crimes, and you know you didn't do these things, but this is what they're attempting to do. So Bill Cosby released from prison after court vacates conviction. So the case has completely been thrown out. And in fact, last night I even saw, I think it was CNN, they had got responses from some of the women. I said, you know what? I'm not even going to touch on that. If other people want to touch on that, they can go right ahead. I don't believe those women need to get any more attention at all. You didn't even tell the truth. Why should you get additional attention? Okay, so Bill Cosby was released from prison after a Pennsylvania appeals court on Wednesday overturned his sexual assault conviction, undoing one of the highest profile prosecutions to emerge amid the Me Too movement. Man, I hope y'all just die. Just let that movement die. Nobody needs to hear from no Me Too people anymore. Go away. In a decision, 4-3 decision, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruled that the evidence used to secure Cosby's 2018 conviction violated his due process rights after prosecutors subjected the actor and comedian to what the court said effectively amounted to a bait and switch. Cosby left the prison in Phoenix, Pennsylvania on Wednesday afternoon, not long after the decision became public. And I think the reason why he got out so quickly, y'all, I think they had made those arrangements prior to the decision, so they must have worked out some kind of deal, his attorney, with the court to get him out immediately. And his words, Bill Cosby's words, I have never changed my stance nor my story. I have always maintained my innocence, he said in a brief statement posted on Twitter later Wednesday. Okay, so that went out on June 30th, 2021 at 6:08 p.m. Although the majority said its 79-page opinion was grounded in notions of fundamental fairness, critics blasted the ruling as an effort to sexual assault survivors. Well, he didn't sexually assault anybody. Okay, so these survivors, y'all need to go somewhere and sit down. No, he didn't sexually assault anybody. This is why women do not come forward. No, Bill Cosby is not the reason why women don't come forward. You see how they scapegoating off of him? You see how the media is doing that? See, they are butt sore because at the end of the day, a black man got away. They don't ever want to see that happen, even if he's not guilty. They don't want to see you get away. The ruling in Cosby's case traced back to a 2005 decision by the Montgomery County District Attorney Bruce Castor, who determined there was insufficient evidence to convict Cosby for the assault. Casper then promised not to charge Cosby if the comedian agreed to testify in a civil suit brought by his alleged victim, Andrea Constan. You know, the one that looked like a horsey? Woman looked like a horse. But Castor's successor, this is the district attorney, Rissa Vetty Furman, decided to honor the agreement. Instead, Furman filed charges against Cosby and used Cosby's own testimony against him to help secure a guilty verdict. A dirty move. But, that's what these folks do. They use their position to do black people in. That's what they do. They all do it. All politicians do this. All of your local politicians do this, and your police departments do this. The courts do it. They all get in their positions and then work against us. I think that's what they believe. That's the only thing they need to do when they get in office is work against us. Okay, no mere changing of the guard strips the circumstance of inequity, the majority wrote. Okay, the three dissenting justices cited various grounds for their opposition, including the majority's move to vacate Cosby's conviction was an ill-suited remedy. Here, although Cosby, what I want to say is never say we don't look after each other. When he got to jail, y'all, never forget those black prisoners took care of him. They made sure no harm came to him in jail. And this is not the only time stuff like this happened. If you remember when James Brown was alive, he went to jail. He almost gave up completely. He went into a deep depression, and those inmates helped lift him back up and made James Brown, you know, got him lifted up his spirits and took care of him. Even when James Brown got out back in the day, he said if it wasn't for the inmates, he would have completely given up. And they made sure he didn't. And little Kim, same thing. When she went to jail, those female inmates took care of her. They made sure no harm came to her when she was in jail. And she was another one. When she got out, she thanked them and said she was going to do anything she could to help them. And she did help a few of them that got outside of the prison. So never say we don't look after each other. Bill Cosby is another living proof of some of our people going behind bars, and they are safe there because people are watching over them. So we do look after each other. Don't ever let people say we don't do that. We do. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was glad to see him getting out of that car and he was at his house. I mean, what a beautiful day. Never forget, Bill Cosby lost two children. He lost his daughter, I think back in 2018, and he lost his son, Ennis. So he lost two of his children. I mean, what a life story this would be. Now, this is a life story I would watch. You know, Bill Cosby goes way back. A lot of you may remember the electric company. It was Bill Cosby and Morgan Freeman that came up with the electric company. And that's why you see him in so many of the clips. You'll see him and Morgan Freeman. You know, he's done so many things and have paid for children, you know, kids to go to college that would never have had that opportunity. And we know he tried to buy NBC, and these people tries to destroy you. See, when they say pull yourself up by the bootstraps, y'all, they don't mean that mess. They don't want you to they don't want none of us to make it. If you were in a destitute state and everything was falling apart for you, they would be sitting back and loving it. They don't want to see none of us make it. And Bill Cosby, they tried to destroy this man. They did. But I'm glad. I mean, come on, an 80, what is he, 83? An 83-year-old man they tried to destroy. And how many pedophiles and rapists and sexual assault men and women are among them? Don't we see these teacher stories every year where these teachers are raping the students? Don't we see that each and every year? We see it so often, you can call it a culture. 86, okay, 86. You know, they do this so often. You can call it a culture. Why do we see it every single year? We see it every year. Yeah, you're right. Black intelligence, they wanted him to get coronavirus because I remember last year they tried to get him out because of that. That Phoenix, Pennsylvania prison he was in, they said they had a bad case outbreak of coronavirus in that prison and they would not let him out. See, they were hoping he would get it and die. That's what they were hoping for. How you doing, LVZ? Mm-hmm. I mean, we they have done so many black men wrong in this country. Yeah, black women too, but black men are always their main focus is always on the black man. They have done so wrong, done them so wrong. We would be here all day and all night for the next 10 years talking about who wrongly got put in jail. And that right there just tells you Bill Cosby, probably the most famous, one of the most famous in the last recent years to be put in jail, wrongly accused of things hearsay. Those women did not come with any proof. It was just based on what they said. That was it. That should never be good enough to put somebody behind bars. Oh, he is 83. Okay. He was born 1937. Okay. So I was right, 83. Okay. Thank you, y'all. Yeah, I mean, he needs to sue these women that came up with these allegations. Do a Michael Jordan. You know how when Michael Jordan was accused by some white woman that claimed she had his baby, Michael Jordan sued that woman. Bill Cosby gonna have to lawyer up and go after every last one of these women, especially if they got money from him. If they took the money and did not prove what they were claiming against him, he needs to go after every last one of those accusers and rip every single dime back from them. He's got to do it. He got to do it. You can't let them go and keep the money. And look, old liar ass Janice Dickerson. Oh, please. I remember when she was accusing Sly Stallone of having his baby. And then when the DNA test came back, he was not the father of her son. I think it was her son. I mean, this woman has never told the truth. And on top of that, she's a damn junkie. But I believe I'm going to have to go back in the stories. I believe she got some of that insurance money when he was jailed, and she should not have gotten one dime. And far as I'm concerned, every last one of those women need to be rounded up and thrown in jail for perjuring themselves. And well, what was that? Y'all remember that black woman that showed up down at the courthouse nude? Do y'all remember that? Some of y'all might remember. There was a black woman, and you could probably look online for this. There was a black woman that showed up down at the courthouse when it was on trial, and she showed up nude protesting against Bill Cosby. Do y'all remember that? And I'm like, what is she doing? I believe I did a video on it because I was like, what the hell is she doing? But yeah, and so, we can talk about white women doing this stuff. We know this historically, but you got some black women and some of these biracial women that will turn on your ass too. And some did. And I went a couple of times. I was on Twitter during the trial, and some of these sisters were out there dragging Bill Cosby too. And I'm like, okay, what are you basing that on? The hearsay that's coming from these women? But yeah, we got a lot of turncoats among our own. Okay, we got a lot of turn. Yeah, Beverly Johnson too. You're right. We got a lot of turncoats among our own. You know what, Ayame? I believe Cuba is guilty. In his case, I believe it's guilty. Cuba has a deep lust for white women. And in his case, I believe it's a little different. In Cuba's case, I think Cuba did all that shit. I do. I don't think that's hearsay. And here's the difference, too. See, Bill Cosby was done at a time nobody had cell phone cameras or nothing was recorded, and it was not a lot of buildings with cameras back then, you know? But in Cuba Gooding Jr.'s case, they got his ass on video. Okay, that's the difference. And you go back and read the story. They got him groping some of these women. That's the difference. So in Cuba's case, I'm just telling you, I think he did do it. Speaking of Twitter, did you see Janet Hubbard have the nerve to go after Felicia Rashad? Yeah, I saw something like that. I saw somebody made a video on that. No, Felicia Rashad, kudos to her for sticking by Bill Cosby. Yeah, like I said, some of our women got that problem. They'll hear something. Yeah, I know that's Aunt Viv from The Fresh Prince. She's one of those people. Sometimes I do agree with her, and then sometimes I don't. But to be honest with you, I think she's a talented woman. But I do also believe Janet Hubbard has some serious attitude problems. And it does come out on a few of the videos that I've seen her on. She got a tad bit of an attitude. I don't know if any of you noticed that, but I sure do. I sure do. I noticed it a couple of years ago when I would see her. I did feel sorry for her that she lost her job on The Fresh Prince, but I can kind of see how her attitude would have played a role in some of that. you know, she is not, you can tell she is not the friendliest person on earth. She's not. She's one of those people that's not very friendly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she got her issues though, but mm-mm-mm. But all of the actors did not. Malcolm Jamal Warner, he also stuck with them. If you go back and look, and we know Rudy, she did, but I think Lisa Bonet did not. So I'm not surprised about that. Actually, I'm not real surprised about that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm not going to take her talent away. She was good on the show, and to be honest with you, I think out of the Aunt Vivs they had, she really was the best one. Black Intelligence said Lisa Bonet a bed wench. Yeah, isn't she married to a white dude anyway? I think she is. Hmm. Yeah, well, black men have always is probably the most lied on man in America is the black man. I mean, let's be real. Over the centuries, we know who's been lying on him the most, but we can't deny the fact that some women within our community will be butt sore that relationships didn't work out and or for a variety of reasons, and they'll lie on a black man too. I've seen that. I have seen that. But Nevertheless, like I said, he is the most lied on man in probably the history of this planet. Really, the Lisa Bonet always seemed a little weird to me. I don't know, and I really never thought she was that great of an actress. If you really think back to A Different World, y'all remember when that was on, or did you watch any of the past episodes? To me, the other actors and actresses on that show were way better than her. She was always a so-so actress to me. I never thought her performances were what I would consider A-list. She's more like a D-list actor, to me. Even when she was on Cosby show, I think some of the other kids that were on there outshined her. She really did not stand out like some of the others. I even kind of like Sandra, the older sister. I liked her acting better than Lisa Bonet. That's just my opinion. If I had to choose between the two of them, I would choose Sandra. Yeah, A Different World. There were a lot of actresses on there that were better than her, like Kim and Jasmine Guy. I just thought they were better. Their performance were better. And definitely the men actors that were on there, they were all good. But Lisa Bonet, I don't know. She just, when you go to those first few episodes, she really wasn't all that great on there. Hmm. I mean, even when Sinbad was on there, he was good. I mean, I would even say his performance was way better than hers. I mean, yeah, she was Denise, but yeah, Jasmine Guy was excellent on there. Her and Dwayne, and I mean, I just like the other ones. I mean, she really, when she got off of the episode, you barely remembered that she was on there. Hmm. Yeah, she's still out there acting, though. Lisa Lisa said she did not know who Will Smith was. I'm well, I don't. Lisa said she don't really enemy of the state. She did the movie. She didn't know really. I know. I never heard that. I mean, Lisa, isn't she kind of like a has been? I'm seriously. Isn't she kind of like a has been? Yeah, I mean, she to me, Lisa Bonet. I guess if you got like a B list or D list movie you want to do, then she's perfect for that. But not a good A list actress. She never was A list. Yeah, well, yeah, I thought she left the show, Rashad Walker, because didn't she get pregnant? I think she got pregnant back then. And she did that weird old movie, that Angel Heart. Y'all remember that movie, Angel Heart? That movie was terrible. She did Angel Heart, and then I think shortly after that, she became pregnant. And that was one of the reasons they kind of moved her out of the way after that for A Different World. That's why she pretty much disappeared from the show. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I actually, when I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I didn't even think the trailer was interesting. The only reason why I caught it is, if you know how all the movies always end up on cable. Well, it ended up on cable and I got a glimpse of it. And to be honest with you, I didn't like the movie. Well, Stacy Dash, black intelligence attacking Bill Cosby is not shocking. But didn't she yeah, but she was the one that tried to crawl back to the black community to forgive her, and she want to apologize and all that crap. Nope, I don't think anybody took Stacy Dash seriously. I don't think so. Yeah, yeah, I think so too. That movie was just raunchy, and it was not even a good movie on top of that. And I think she did some nudity. If memory serves me correct, she did some nudity in that movie. And that was one of the that and her pregnancy got her moved off of a different world. Oh, Ocean Soul, are you kidding me? Stacy Dash is looking for a movie deal. Wow. She's so toxic. I don't know if anybody would put her on. Who's going to go see a movie with Stacy Dash? At this point, who would go see that? Yeah, Stacy is Mexican and black. Damon Dash is her cousin. So she got one. I believe her mother is Mexican and her father is white. I mean, not white, black. But it's funny, when she got arrested for domestic violence, she was classified as white. I'm like, okay, whatever, Stacy. We do see that black in you, girl. we do see that, Stacy. Yeah, well, I think that white zaddy got rid of her because she really wasn't getting along with his children at all. He had two white children from a previous marriage, and they never liked her. And I think that was another reason why that man moved away from her. Remember, he said she cast a spell on him. She cast a spell on him. That's why he married her. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, so Stacy's a witch. Trust me, that black is all over Stacy Dash. Okay, I mean, seriously, she looks more like a sister than a Mexican to me. So I'm just saying, her classified as white is so laughable. It's not even funny. Well, she couldn't hide that even if she tried to. Daddy Zaddy Tales, starring Stacy Dash. Oh man, LVZ. Yes, she got one. Her oldest child is with Christopher Williams. Remember when she divorced, when she was going through that divorce, she said she was moving in with her son. She don't have no money. And that's the son she moved in with. That's her firstborn, the one she had with Christopher Williams. And she's living with him because she don't have no money. Yeah, I mean, Stacy crapped on a lot of people. To me, her chances of getting into a movie, I just don't see it. And if she does, I don't see a lot of people going out to watch that movie because she's such an unlikable person. Yeah, Strawberry 32. Yeah, Christopher Williams had a lot of problems. Back in the day, I used to read that they would book him to do concerts, and the crowd would be there and everything, and he would just take, as soon as he got paid the money, because he would get paid his money before going on the stage. As soon as he would get the money, they said he'd get in his car and leave, and the crowd would be there waiting for a show, and he done took the money and left. And that's why he lost everything as far as his career. Eventually, nobody would book him for anything because he kept bouncing after he got the money. And number two, he lost his singing career over that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you always hear those rumors that he hit her, and I heard the same thing. You don't know. Christopher Williams said he never touched Stacy Dash. According to her, he was beating on her. That's what she was claiming. Mm-hmm. Well, he had a bad drug habit, and that ruined everything for him. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the same thing with, if you remember, Halle Berry said, I think it was who was it? I can't remember now. Remember, Halle Berry said one of the actors hit her. I know Wesley Snipes hit her so hard it broke her drum, her inner eardrum. And when he was interviewed, he said he never touched her. So we always get these conflicting stories. I haven't seen a recent picture of Christopher Williams. Really? He looks sickly? Well, after being on drugs for years, I tell you what, you ain't gonna look too good. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, years and years on drugs, you are not gonna look good. Plain and simple. I don't know. I don't care what you look like when you were younger. When it's all said and done, you ain't gonna look like that when you start aging. Them looks will fade real fast. Oh, okay. Tanika, you said I heard Christopher Williams hurt Halle Berry, not Wesley Snipes. Yeah, well, she also made, if y'all remember, Halle also made accusations against Dave Justice. Y'all remember when she was married to the baseball player? She made accusations against him harming her too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know Halle is with a black man. You know who's a cute couple? Simone Biles and her black boyfriend that she got now. I think they are such a cute couple. I do. She's been with him, I think, for like the last 2, 3 years. He's a football player. And when I see those two together, they look like such a cute couple. Yeah, I remember her making Honey Chick Forever. I remember Halle Berry making accusations against Dave Justice. I do remember that. But here's what I think when it comes down to Halle Berry and even people like Jennifer Lopez. When you see the same woman in multiple relationships and there's always some issue, sometimes I think it's the woman. I do. I think it's the woman. I mean, when you just see it too much on one woman, okay, you done had all these men and every last one of them leave and you had some issue with each, and I don't know, sometimes I think it reflects on her and not so much the men. I'm just saying. With Halle, it's every man did this, every man did that. I don't know, maybe it's you. Yeah, I remember Eric Bonet. I remember her with him. Like I said, there's always some issue with her. So who knows? Who knows? All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get off of this live stream, but I am glad that Bill Cosby is back home. They need to leave that man alone, altogether, and just let him live out the rest of his life in peace. For real. So everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll definitely come back together at 3:30. I got one on Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin is actually in a segregated unit, so he's around all white inmates. And from what I'm understanding, y'all, that is a permanent situation. They're permanently keeping him segregated. He's never going to be in Gen Pop with the rest of the prisoners. So even in prison, this man is still getting his white privileges. So everybody, remember 3:30 today, we're going to be going over Derek Chauvin's situation. So even if you don't get notification, it's at 3:30. All right, family. Shalom.